Talking about this doctrine, since you have talked about it, let's go into it. Um, as you said, that every church have their doctrines. Some can't go without tying your hair. Some you don't wear trousers. Some don't wear earrings. There's some kind of churches. I also had that issues. There's a kind of church I'll be like, "Kai, these people are a little bit worldly." Until I became close to them, I realized, wow, these people love more than us. Like, if they follow you up here, they follow up a lot. If they just have your number, your own is finished. They will follow you up a lot, and they love themselves, right? But they are different from the church I grew up. So I was looking at them with one eye, right? So if, for example, this particular child do not wear trousers, and because we've had that issue where, okay, this church, we don't put on trousers, and somebody, an unbeliever or someone that just met Christ and is just looking for a church to enter, and they just entered. You see, there are situations where they chase that person out, and we don't know where that person will go. To me, I feel like there is rejection just because we are trying to protect a doctrine. And because of that doctrine now, a lot of people have been sent out. Sometimes, it's just recently now, people are seeing divorce in another light. Those times, even till now, some people will tell you, even if it's abusive, stay there, you are married. Jesus said divorce is a sin, remain in your marriage and pray about it, and even if it's abusive, right? And some churches too, a woman can come, or the man will come and complain that my partner is abusive, and they'll say, we do not divorce in this church until the person dies or go mental, right? What do you think the church should do about that? Still protecting their doctrine and accepting people in love. Because I also believe that this thing make people live in sin, cover their sin, right? They cover their sin. A man of God I heard, he was talking about two people that they were dating in church. The guy impregnated the lady, and the next thing he did, he came to them to confess that, see, both of them are in the choir, and the girl became pregnant for him. They are not married. They didn't even know that they were dating. And instead of them to chase them out of the church, or, oh yeah, go to back seat, this one, do this one, and all of that, even if they did that, they still had to support them so that they would not commit another sin of committing abortion. And they had to support them, ask him if he wanted to get married to the lady. He said he wanted to get married, guided them on what to do. And they are still in the church. They did not run away, right? And they began to do things the right way. So there was still chastisement, but there was comfort, like comforting, just as the Holy Spirit will punish you for doing something, but he's still there comforting you, right? I think that is the part. What do you think, where the church has not come into yet?
Well, once the church doctrine, or let me start by, there is the doctrine and there are doctrines. Doctrines are guidelines or rules set by probably the set man of the church, the founder, based on probably their own encounter with God.
Yes.
But the doctrine, the faith, this is the teaching of the kingdom, the backbone of Christianity, the lifestyle of Jesus. Not just what is in the Bible. Because it may even be biblical and still be wrong. So don't let us say, okay, because it's in the Bible, it happened in so, David did so. And So doctrines are there. But once you start to honor or protect these doctrines more than the soul, because most of the time we treat our churches as all saints church, not all souls. Like you said, people coming to the church for the very first time. I was telling my wife before I left the house of encounters I've had with people going to a church the first time the church is about to open, so we're just students' church, and we're waiting for the person holding the key to come and open the door. And the conversations I was hearing nearly got me running. Do you understand?
Yes,
so,
sir.
we should be careful as church workers, as people inside the church, to treat people first with love, to make sure they are established, more than putting your doctrine on them immediately. You have someone, this is someone you don't know, you don't have any idea of what this person is going through. You have seen this person for the first time, and you want to enforce the doctrine on this person. That is not the first thing to do. That is not the first thing to do. The first thing is to identify this soul, the standing of this soul. I've gone to a church to minister before, and after ministering, the prophetess climbed the pulpit and said, clap for people that just finished acting drama for us. But this church, we are not many because we don't like sinners in our midst. We don't want sinners in this church. That's why we are not many. And I was like,
the church is well.
You don't want sinners in this church.
Who do you want?
So you want them to come clean.
Where would they clean themselves?
Where would they clean themselves? If not you allowing them to come inside the church. So we should not put the doctrines of the church above the doctrine of the kingdom, above the teaching of the faith. So we should know how to manage these things. And doctrines can change. Doctrines can change. We've seen doctrines change over time.
Yes.
Churches that say, okay, we don't wear trousers based on whatever they feel it is their reason, are now wearing.
Yes.
Some, their local church will not be wearing, their international church will be wearing.
That's a problem too, because you realize there's a church I saw on TV, a minister in Nigeria went to minister, the music minister, and somebody now made a comment because the choir member was putting on trousers. And the person says, so in this church in Nigeria, we are not allowed to wear trousers. But there, they are allowed to wear. So the God is different.
So that's where people also put a little bit of cultural values, cultural beliefs into all of these, their doctrines. So it can change over time. I just don't want to be mentioning some instances so that it's like, oh, it's about this, but these things can change. So if you allow what is changeable or what is subjected to change
to remain,
to chase or to destroy souls that should have been won, and after like 10, 15 years, it now changed. Now be like, okay, now, there was a time in my church that I just, okay, don't just want to mention stuff. But these things are subject to change, subject to review. So we should not let this thing push innocent souls away. So we should focus on the faith, the doctrine, more than the doctrines. That should be the balance.
Hearing what you're saying, I feel like most of our problems still are some of our shepherds. I still feel like they need mentorship, they need discipleship, because sometimes even the founder can make a change because they know better. I have a friend, when he came to school, he doesn't shake ladies. He was not even talking to me, because when we asked, why are you like this? He said he doesn't talk to girls that wear trousers, and I was like, okay. But right now, he hugs more than me.
Okay.
He had a lot of ideas, and when I heard it, I was like, let him just be on his own, let him be relating with guys. But now when you see he hugs, and he's more spiritual than, like, he's growing spiritual. It did not affect his spirit, it did not affect his purity. It was just idea. But there was a space, there was a place for growth, even in God. Right now, there are times that even the founder will grow, but the followers or their shepherds in other places, other locations have refused to grow. So, will we tie this to mindset, or is it lack of discipleship? Will we call it lack of discipleship? Because most of the time, it is, I don't know what to call it.
For me, I don't want to say it the way it's coming to my heart, because our leaders, pastors, bishops, church fathers, there are things that they do intentionally, especially when we look at the concept of ministry in Nigeria. You notice that even there is a little bit of clique in between our leaders. Okay, this person assisting with this person, and what they kind of believe in. No, for example, now if this pastor and this pastor and this pastor aligns together, what they believe in will kind of flow together. While we have another set that their own pattern is different.
Yeah.
Now, I've been privileged to pastor a church before, a local church, where we have monthly pastors meeting. And in that pastors meeting, you actually look like, are these people pastors? That's when you would think like there are some things that they do intentionally. Not all pastors. Yeah. But there's a way a pastor can cage or limit the mindset of the people they are leading, just to control them. Just to put them under that inside the box. There's a way a pastor will even preach to you. It happens like nowadays. I was like, before now, we don't hear about pastors coming to church and all they preach about is another pastor and what is another pastor is doing and not doing well. It is still because I don't want you to go, I don't want you to believe in so person's ministry. Right. So it can be intentional.